Hey guys, some of you asked me to make a video on my Jake experience. Well, I'm gonna try to put all of them in there and make it quick because if I try to put everything in there, then we would be here all day. So here we go. First time I met Jake was May 8th in Columbus, Ohio. I left school that day early and I went to my house and I got ready, and then I went to Columbus and we drove down there, me and my two friends and one of their moms, and we got there and we were the first people there, but I mean there was someone else there that I met online, and we were one of the first people there and we were waiting in line, and it was at a bar, so we could go in and get food and stuff, and we were waiting and waiting forever, and we were waiting for Jake and the crew to get there. So then finally we start seeing the bus just pull up, and I look at my friends and I'm like, oh my gosh, holy shit, I was screaming, and we start flipping out, and then the bus pulls up right in front of us and just stops, and we're waiting forever and nobody's coming out of the bus, and then finally Scooter comes out and we're like, oh my god, Scooter. He's like, I'm sorry guys, I can't take pictures, I can't talk right now. He's like, I promise I will later, blah blah blah, and he has to go inside the venue. He's they're trying to find somewhere to park, and I'm like, okay, I understand, Scooter's the tour manager, so he has to figure everything out. And then Kevin, I think, walked out second, and we were talking to Kevin, and I was scared. That's the first time I met them. I didn't want to run up to them and stuff. And we waited and waited for them. Each one of them kept coming out. And finally, I ran up to Dan because I was in love with Dan, and I'm like, oh my gosh, can I get a picture with you? And I hugged him and everything, got a picture, and then they went inside the venue, and we waited outside because we don't want to follow them. We don't want to be annoying. And then they were coming out, and it was Dan, Scooter, Dan, Joey, Kevin. Those three came out of the venue, and the other people were already in the bus. And the bus left and went around the corner behind the venue, and those three came out, and they're like, where's the bus? They didn't know they left, and we were like, oh, they went around the back and everything. So they started going that way, and we were gonna go wait by the bus and try to meet Jake, and so we started going that way too, and they turned around. We're like, no, we're not following you and everything. It was so funny. And I mean, we actually kind of were, if you really think about it, because we were trying to find the bus too. But then we were waiting, and at that point, I was DMing Edgar for a couple weeks then, and we were trying to talk about him meeting me at the bus and stuff. And well, I drew this picture for Jake, and I wanted Jake to sign it. So Edgar DM'd me. He's like, where are you? And I'm like, well, I'm outside the bus now. And he came out and he met me and everything. And I was like, can you get this picture to Jake because I want him to sign it? And he's like, yeah, I'll try my best, blah blah blah. And then we were waiting, and all of a sudden we went back in line because I just told Edgar that I wanted it at the meet and greet. I'm like, just have Jake give it to me because Edgar said he'd be in there. And so we waited back in line. We had my friend's mom save our spot and everything so people didn't get mad. And then we were waiting there, and all of a sudden I was talking, and someone taps on my shoulder, and everyone's like, oh my god, Brianna. And I'm like, what? And I turn around and I'm like, oh my god, Edgar. Edgar brought me my little folder, my picture and everything, and he's like, here. He's like, Jake loved it, blah blah blah. And I opened it and I started crying, and it's this big deal. I don't know. I mean, I have it right here actually. See? I don't know if you can read that, but it says, I could be your Harry Potter, you'll be my Hermione. And Jake signed it and put a little white lightning bolt and your glasses. Little asshole. I'm just kidding, I love you. Draw my picture though. I worked hard for that. I'm just kidding though, I love you. You're not an asshole. Far from it. But then we went back by the bus because Jake was in sound check, and we were like, well, if he's in sound check, then he has to come back out. So we were like, oh my god, we're gonna meet him. So we were waiting by the bus, and all of a sudden the door opens. Like there's like this fence by the like guarding the venue kind of, and Jake walks out. Okay, well, first it was like Edgar, Kevin, Joey, Andres, and Scooter, all of them like walked out before him, and then all of a sudden Jake starts walking out, and I literally just turned around. Like I couldn't even look at him. I turned around. Everyone else was like, oh my god, Jake. There's only about like 7 of us standing there, and it was me and my friends, and we're standing there, and like he turns like away from the group, and he like walks towards us. And he's like, hi guys, and he's like talking to us, blah blah blah, and I'm like still turned around, and he's like, hello, and he like tried to like peek around, and I'm like, oh my gosh, hi, and I'm like, can I have a hug? He's like, yeah, of course, because he's so sweet, and he hugged me, and he's like, well, I gotta go shower before the meet and greet, I'll see you guys in there, blah blah blah, I hope you enjoy the show. So then we were freaking out, and like we went back, and we went into meet and greet, and we met him, and you know, I talked to him, blah blah blah, and then the show, it was just perfect, and like we silly stringed him, and he took the can from me, and he silly stringed me back, and it was honestly like perfect. And then while I was at that show, I actually met a girl named Trinity, and we're not friends now, but we drove 10 hours to Nashville to meet Jake again, and we got there, you know, blah blah blah, we met him. Okay, I don't really want to talk about this show, but I guess I will. So I walked into the venue, and we were the first people in line because we got there the day before, and we waited overnight because we were so excited we couldn't sleep. And I walk up to Edgar because he was taking our picture, and I'm like, here's notes, one's for you and one's for Jake, can you give it to him? And he's like, yeah, of course, Brianna. And I was like, what? Like, you know my name? And he's like, Brianna, right? That's your name? And I'm like, yeah, like, and I started like freaking out, and Jake's over there laughing at me, and yeah, then I met Jake, and I was like, can you kiss me on the cheek? And he's like, I'm so sorry, I can't, but you kiss my cheek. And I was like, yeah, of course. So I kissed him on the cheek, and then we were front row of the concert, silly stringed him again. We actually had water guns, we sprayed him with water guns. He took my silly string and my water and sprayed me back, and he took all my stuffed animals and all my hats and everything, and I had this little fake machine gun, it was camo, and he took it, and he was like playing with it and stuff, and yeah. But then after that show, we waited in the car, and we followed Jake, Joey, and Edgar to the airport. Well, pretty much to the airport, but Joey was like trying to lose us the whole time, like swerving in and out of exits, and like we were running red lights and crap, and yeah, we pretty much followed him. And I used to have a video of Jake like waving to us, but it got deleted, and I don't know how, but yeah. And then see, again, July 30th in Columbus, I met Jake, and that was like the Ohio State Fair with like Jake and Austin Mahone, and he didn't have meet and greet, but we met him outside, and like he signed my phone case and stuff. And at that concert, I got Kevin's drumstick, and he signed it for me. Can you see that? And yeah. Then August 9th in Wisconsin, I saw Jake again, and we didn't meet him that day because he didn't have meet and greet, but I saw Vanna there, even though we didn't talk. Most of you should know Vanna. Actually, before the first time I met Jake, I saw him February 28th in Cleveland. I have this little cheat sheet because I met him so many times. But the last time I met Jake, okay, I met Jake November 28th in Cleveland, Ohio at the House of Blues. I had basketball practice that day and I couldn't miss because we had our first game the next day and I played varsity and it's like a big deal for me. So I had to go to Jake's concert late and I got there like right before it started, like, and we had meet and greet and everything. So I was like, okay, well, meet and greet after, I'll be fine. Like I get to meet him and everything. And the concert was great, even though it's all the way in the back. And Jake couldn't see us. We couldn't really barely see him. But I mean, hearing him is all I want. I love seeing Jake in concert. But I met him, and we were kind of almost last in line. And I walk up all the way up the stairs, okay, where Jake is. And all of a sudden, Jake was like talking to the person right before me. And all of a sudden, Jake turns around and he's like, "Hey, I know you." And I'm just like, holy shit. I was like, oh my god, and I started screaming and like covering my mouth, and I turned to my friends Summer and Catherine and my brother Brandon, and I'm like, oh my god guys, did you hear him? Oh my god, because that's like all I want. I always want Jake to remember who I am. I want Jake to know me, and just, it's my dream. Like I love him more than I love myself, and the fact that he knows who I am, like, whew. But so I was like, oh my gosh, seriously, you know who I am? He's like, yeah, I follow you on Instagram. He's like, I love your account, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much. And then Andres is like, oh, I know you. You're a devoted tweeter. And I start laughing. I like walk up to Jake and like I hug him and I'm like crying and he's like patting me on the head and rubbing my back. He's like, stop crying, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I love you so much. And like, honestly, I don't remember what we talked about. We just talked, and I was so shocked and happy, and it was literally the best day of my life. Like Jacob Harris Miller knows who I am. It wouldn't click in this head of mine, like, and I'm like sitting there, and I'm talking to him, and I was like, we were like smiling at the camera, and I'm like, can I kiss you on the cheek? And he's like, yeah, of course, you're my only exception. What? I literally just stared at him. He's like smiling at my camera still. Smiling. Just smiling, saying it to me. And I'm like this is his face, and I'm just like, oh my, like, I love him. But yeah, I about pissed myself then. And I kissed him on the cheek, and I got my picture, and I'm like, thank you so much, and I hugged him again, and I started crying, and he's like, no, thank you, blah, 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 and I, like, had this camel backpack, and I gave it to him, and I'm like, Jake, inside is a Superman cape, because you're my hero, and you saved me, because, like, it's, like, a symbol for me, like, I found this cape, and I wanted to give it to him, because he may not be a superhero, but in my world he is, because without him I wouldn't be here. And I like pretty much told him that, and he like grabs me on the shoulders and he like looks me in the eyes and he's like, seriously, thank you so much for that. And I'm just like it really hit me. But yeah, then I like hugged him again, and I was like, I love you so much. He's like, I love you too. He's like, keep posting amazing pictures, and I'm like, I will, I promise. And yeah. And then after that, my brother walks up to him and he's like, dude, oh my god, Jake. He's like, you just totally made our life. And he's like smiling at me and my brother, and I ran down the stairs. And we went and we waited outside, and I met Jake again, and I got another picture with him. And he's like, seriously, you better post these on Instagram. And I'm like, I will. And then I went home and I posted them and fangirled and freaked out for like weeks straight. And Jake commented on my pictures, something like it's like kissy face emoji. But yeah, those are some of my experiences with Jake. I'm sorry this took like 15 minutes. I'm so sorry. And I'm sorry if it was boring to you and it wasn't what you guys expected. But yeah, and if I forgot things, then that sucks for me and for you, because everything is amazing. Jake is amazing. Jacob Harris Miller is God himself. Like, I see my name in lights now. I'm living for right now. Yeah, I love him, and so should you. And yeah, so thanks for watching, and I love you guys so much. You guys are the best, and if I could give you this flower right now, I would give it to you because I love you and you deserve it. But I love you guys. And Jake, if you're watching, I didn't mean you were an asshole earlier when I said that. It was just a joke, and I shouldn't joke like that because I hate when people joke and make fun of people and are rude, and that was really mean, and I can't believe I said it, and yeah, but it was a joke, and I just said it because you drew on my picture. But I really love you more than anything in the world. I love you more than myself, more than just this world. You are my world. But yeah, thank you for watching again. Follow me on Instagram, Military Crew. Subscribe, please. On here. Like it. Don't like it. I don't care. Because I'm happy with it. I'm just going to keep talking because I'm a loser. Holy crap. I need to stop talking. Oh yeah, my black eye. Sorry if you guys were staring at it. Or if you didn't notice it at all, but... Shit, I meant to stop that. I love you guys. Oh gosh. If I forgot something, I might put it down in the description. Probably won't, but yeah, peace, love you. You're the best.
Hey you, can you tell me how's it feel? Being ordinary, I just don't see the appeal. I'd rather live a life that normal people find surreal. Cause I'm a superstar.